Hello everyone. Now the remaining portion of the geography. In this section you are aware of that complex question and easy questions both together. That is the pattern of the UPSC. And we focus on the question number 22. Slightly difficult question from the agriculture. For many years the question from agriculture relatively difficult one. The system of rice intensification of cultivation in which alternate wetting and the drying rice fields is practiced results in. So that is one modern technique, SRI method. Unlike the transplantation method or direct seeded rice, this method is also very popular method of recent times. The SRI method, if I focus upon, then you know very well that in this method the relatively less water consumption, that's why that is preferred method in which production of the rice is more with less water. So if I talk about that in this field, as question itself telling, wetting and drying, we know rice require more water, water intensive crop in most of the cultivation like transplantation, water logging condition, but यहाँ पे minimum पानी के अंदर ये हल्का सा wet रहे, तो this question is itself telling us that minimum water usage, and that is helping hand is of course in the reduced methane production, unlike the transplantation method. So you know the second is correct, reduce methane production. And second is in this method it is also required that only single seedling is planted rather than the bunch in the transplantation. एक छोटे छोटे सीड, एक सिंगल सीडलिंग जो नर्सरी में तैयार हो गया, नर्सरी से एक सिंगल, तो इसमें मिनिमम कंपटीशन होता है सीड के बीच में, और जब सीड का कंपटीशन कम होगा, एक सिंगल सीड rather than transplantation bunch, then here the chance of seed consumption is also reduced. So it is less inputs, less seed requirement as well. So first is also correct. And overall we even say that less water, it means less irrigation requirement, less water pumping. So it is also relatively indicated that energy consumption is also less inputs, well prepared modern method. So unlike the popular transplantation method, even less electricity or less energy consumption chances are there. 1 and 2 correct. And third also we can say that is slightly energy consumption is less, but even we can interpret that energy is related to the electricity as well. On this ground, that probability of this question going towards the D option 1, 2, 3. Now the second question we see, that is slightly easier one. The question that is second year, and this question is consider the following pairs, peak and the mountains. I would suggest that if any map based question is there, peaks and mountains comparison, then to don't take the risk here, rather draw a simple diagram. I am sure that if you make in your particular question paper, if you draw this diagram, the North India like this, and just consider it is Himalayan zone, then you know very well that in Himalayan zone, that famous peaks, if I say Namcha Barwa, Nanda Devi, Nokrek, then Namcha Barwa is Arunachal and Tibet border, Tibetan side eastern Himalaya, that is Assam, Arunachal, Himalaya, but here it is given Namcha Barwa, Gadwal. Gadwal is famous place in Uttarakhand, Gadwal, Kumaon. So it is outrightly incorrect, that number 1, that is incorrect. And Nanda Devi, Kumaon, Himalaya, Nanda Devi you know, a famous peak of Uttarakhand, Nanda Devi Biosphere Reserve. So this area of course correct, second is correct. And Nokrek, that is a kind of biosphere reserve of Meghalaya area, and Meghalaya you know can't be Sikkim, Meghalaya is different, Sikkim is different. So third is also incorrect. So only 2 is correct, B is the option. So this one, so I do think that Namcha Barwa, the Nanda Devi, only Nanda Devi is correct, neither the Nokrek, that's why the number you can say the B the option, 2 only the correct option, and C the third as well. The term Levant, that is basically a term more in the current affairs due to the IS activities, Islamic State, Iraq and the Levant. And once we say Iraq and Syria as well, so once we say ISIS or ISIL, then Either you say Iraq and Levant or Iraq and Syria. It means Syria and Levant both are synonymous. Levant is slightly bigger area near Mediterranean Sea involving Syria and the Lebanon, as well as the area of the Turkey little bit as well. So this area is nothing but in the map area. If you just check, then you know it is Mediterranean Sea this side. In Mediterranean Sea this part, that is the Levant area, east this zone. Here Syria, that is a kind of question of Syria, too many you know. So Syria and Lebanon plus that. So if little bit this term ISIL or ISIS you are aware of, then on this basis even you can include that Levant and Syria synonymous in these countries. So option A is correct. So let's check the other than the question number 26 other questions, remaining question as well. The question other than that, the question number, yes, the next question, consider the following countries, that is also map based. The question like Azerbaijan, Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, but again Afghanistan, those countries remained in the news due to Taliban or hard lines and ISIS. Then the question of the UPSC on this trend as well, and you have to even consider that Central Asia का route है Afghanistan. अफगानिस्तान एंड ईरान के थ्रू हम जा सकते हैं, तो इंडिया इज ऑल्सो मेकिंग द रोड हियर. सो अफगानिस्तान मैप इफ यू आर अवेयर ऑफ, सपोज इफ आई से that one side to draw a crude map of Afghanistan like that, this one, this side it is touching China, this side touching India, and this side the Pakistan, this side the Iran, but northern area of the Afghanistan is Central Asia. For example, you know Tapi gas pipeline, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, India. On this basis, Turkmenistan would definitely be there. So let's see, Turkmenistan is given, yes, 4 option. And if I talk about the Azerbaijan, Azerbaijan is far away, that is in Caspian Sea surrounding, it can't be. So number 1 is not possible. And also Kyrgyzstan, that is more to this side. But which countries are closer? Uzbekistan, Turkmenistan, and one more country where Pamir not just above that, Tajikistan. Generally it is said, if Afghanistan hadn't touched the northernmost area of India, then Tajikistan would have been the neighboring country where Pamir. So Tajikistan, Uzbekistan, these two options, 3, 5. 3, 5 you check here, then 3, 5 is also given here, and 1 can't be, as I said Azerbaijan can't be, it is on Caspian Sea surrounding, then 3, 4, 5 the C option. So little bit whichever knowledge you have, you use that knowledge, Tapi gas pipeline, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, on this basis also you may do that. But definitely I would suggest that key countries, if crude diagram during the exam you draw, you may correctly or reaching the correct answer as well. The option 3, 4, 5, the kind of option Tajikistan, having the Pamir node north of that, also Uzbekistan, and Turkmenistan, the gas pipeline. So on this basis, C. And the next is the consider the following state: Andhra, Kerala, Himachal, Tripura. How many of the above are generally known as tea producing state? It is also relatively the topic slightly in confusing us, because normally we are aware of Assam is tea garden area, and also Bengal, Darjeeling area, Tamil Nadu, and Kerala, Munnar. So Kerala is quite famous, of course. That is correct here, the tea producing state. But South India is also known for either Kerala, or you can say the Tamil Nadu region, or Andhra, or surrounding area. So in NCERT also, once you go through, NCERT is our indispensable book, and again NCERT has shown that in geography we can't neglect that portion. Then Andhra is also mentioned as a South Indian state, and even Tripura, due to Assam, Tripura, both are the plain kind of area, Tripura is also there, as well as the Himachal, in Himachal, Kangra, Palanpur, these kind of area also organic tea. So tea is being produced, और टी से 2 क्वेश्चन आए, टी बोर्ड पर आ गई है, कैलकाटा और ये वाला एरिया, और देन द टी हियर एज वेल. सो the Andhra, Kerala, Himachal, Tripura, so all 4 states actually known for tea plantation. So it is also my request to all of you, those are preparing as well, that once you see the question, please do not see that okay, if I know Kerala then other state can't be. Just have this liberty in your mind that if we know these are number 1, number 2, other state could also be there. It is not mentioned number 1, number 2. Generally tea producing area, so all 4 option D. Next question, if you check here, that consider the following pairs Ghat Prabha, Gandhi Sagar, Indira Sagar, Marathon and related states Telangana, Madhya Pradesh, Andhra, Chhattisgarh, and you note very well that these names Gandhi Sagar, Indira Sagar, quite famous reservoir of our state Madhya Pradesh. Indira Sagar is famous on Narmada River, the largest project of Madhya Pradesh. Indira Sagar, Omkareshwar and Sardar Sarovar. So Indira Sagar, third is wrong. Gandhi Sagar is of course Madhya Pradesh, a famous reservoir on the river Chambal. Then Gandhi Sagar is correct. Famous one. Ghat Prabha, Malprabha, these rivers also remained in news due to some disputes. महाराष्ट्र कर्नाटक के सराउंडिंग में घाट प्रभा महाराष्ट्र की रिवर है, तेलंगाना की नहीं है. तेलंगाना से गोदावरी पास कर रही है, कृष्णा पास करती है, तुंगभद्रा एज वेल, बट घाट प्रभा इज मोर वेस्टवर्ड. So if I talk about a crude map, then you know very well that Indira Sagar on Narmada River and on Chambal, the Madhya Pradesh again the Gandhi Sagar, as well as the Ghat Prabha on the western side Maharashtra. So that is the wrong statement here, number 1. And number 3 is also wrong. Marathon not in Chhattisgarh, Marathon is Jharkhand Damodar and Damodar basin actually. तो दामोदर बेसिन में कई डैम बनाए थे दामोदर वैली कॉर्पोरेशन में, तिलैया, मैथॉन, बाराकार्स etc. Then Marathon is also wrong, it is not Chhattisgarh. So basically only the Gandhi Sagar is correct here. And if I talk about here the option only which pair, only one pair, which pair, the Gandhi Sagar Madhya Pradesh is correct, neither the Marathon nor the you can say the Ghat Prabha, that is in Karnataka Ghat Prabha, and this Indira Sagar is actually Madhya Pradesh again on river Narmada, and that is also wrong here. So only one pair, that is A option. So these are the questions here. So thank you very much. Let's hope for your best success here. Thank you very much.